I was standing in my bathroom and I looked over at my hairspray can, and on the side it said wait in big letters. And when I looked at the word wait, I got a background. I got a download. Yeah, I got background information. Exactly. And we're going to talk about the mice in the wall. We'll get to that proverbially. So what I saw when I saw the word wait was this scene that came into my mind from like all the classic rom-coms where the girl is leaving and the guy, very heteronormative by the way, love and light to all. Typically it's a man that's like, wait, don't go. I mean, it could be literal for some of you. It's an allegory. It's the universe saying to us, wait, don't go. Wait, like, don't give up now. Like, you're so close. You're this close to something. It's like you're on the precipice of greatness. You're on the precipice of some sort of a big dream here, bigger than you could even imagine. I'm seeing this as an ETF. You know, those funds, like, it's a group of, like, billionaires that, you know, maybe not billionaires, but, you know, very rich investor types that come together and form, like, a group, right? Okay, so anyways, I'm seeing that here with all the stars. It's like, it's more powerful with a group, this dream. And it might not even be like, oh, you're going to form, like, a, you know, a 7-person team. It's not like that. It's like that. I'm seeing it as an allegory. I'm seeing Knights of the Round Table. I'm seeing, this could be in the astral with the star. Sometimes I see that as the star. And I'm seeing the devil right now here. This could, you guys are probably going to think I'm out there, but this is what I'm here to say. This is like a cosmic war between like the dark and the light, but it's not that. We know that, right? It's not like good and evil. It's different than that. There's something going on like in the astral, and it is revealing itself in the 3D world. So, okay. What I'm seeing with that wait message is like some of us were shown, and in my pre-shuffle I had the Ace of Pentacles. It's like we were shown this big shiny object. This is what I got right here. I got Metatron's cube. It's like we were shown something and we were like mesmerized by it. Like it was almost like an orb. I saw an orb earlier today and I literally said out loud to my guides, I was like, what are those really? What was that? Is that like, because it wasn't lint or something. It was literally in front of my face. It went room, room. And I was like, is that like a tiny UFO? Is it some sort of high-level technology that we don't understand quite yet? And anyways, what I'm seeing is it's like we were shown, that's what I was going to say, the object. It's like, and some of us maybe were literally shown something, right? Like something like paranormal. Metatron's cube, it be like that sometimes with Metatron's cube, right? It's like, this is a universe that, like, imagine this is the Earth and this is just like, it's like that scene in Men in Black where they open the locker and there's like the world within the world within the world. It's like, imagine I'm like a higher being and this is like the earth in my hand. Anyways, so what I'm seeing with that is some of us were like, something was revealed to us. Like for me, I'll give a quick personal story and you think about what yours is, because the collective I'm speaking to will relate to this. It's some sort of a big dream that for the most part you probably kind of knew since you were younger. Like, you know, maybe when you were younger you're like, oh, I'm going to be an entrepreneur. I'm going to have my own business, and you were like young. 4 as I said that. That is emperor stuff, right? That's an example. Could be like, for me, it was like when I was younger, it's like I looked up into the stars at night, like literally when I was a child. And I remember just like my eyes just zooming into the stars late at night. I was probably like 3 years old. And it was almost like I was being taken up into the night sky. And it made me feel almost like nauseous. I felt like I was going up into the sky. And it was like I had an understanding of like eternity. And then it just kept going on and on and on. And it scared me, and I started to, like, ask my parents a bunch of questions, like, what is forever? Because I grew up a Christian, and nobody ever had any answers for me, of course, through all the years. Every Bible study I ever went to, the pastor didn't like me because it's like I would ask these questions, and I would be genuine about it, and they wouldn't have an answer, so they would get angry at me. Their ego would get angry at me. Well, if we don't have the answers, just say we don't have them. Don't be pompous about it. Anyways, these people really like to make known all over my social media, even the ones I no longer use, they like to publicly shame me. Okay? That's why I don't use personal social media anymore, because these people, anyways, love and light. You know what I mean? I'm on my business. I'm on my mission. I don't know what you guys are up to. Them, I'm saying, not you. I don't know what they're up to. But I'm on my business. I'm on my mission just like I was when I was a child looking up into the freaking sky. Religion boxed me in to where if I was just left to my own devices and just looked for the answers on my own accord. Anyways, I just would have had a different story. I wouldn't have had to go through all this religious PTSD. I wouldn't have had to want to literally end my life. Hours and hours and hours and hours of conversations with my Gemini father. You cannot out-argue a Gemini. For literally hours. Love and light, Dad. But he made me feel like my sexuality. That was a big topic of conversation for, I don't know, since I was like 12. I don't even identify as anything anymore. It's like I spent all those years trying to get these assholes. I looked for, like, I literally might as well have become a freaking Christian lawyer, a religious lawyer, like Paul the Apostle. Because that is how well I studied the Bible so that I could prove that I was not an apostate, as these people like to leave all over my freaking social media. It's like, at this point, I don't even care. I don't even identify as anything anymore because I'm just like, I spent so many years trying to out-argue these people. They dehumanized me. They dehumanized me for so many years. And not just my sexuality, but for so many things. This is my part of the story. And trust me, I have a point. I'm not just like trauma dumping. This is not me trauma dumping. This is just me giving you a tiny bit of an insight. Okay? Trying to out-argue my Gemini father for my whole freaking life. And it's just, anyways, I knew from the start who I was. I knew that I was here on a mission. I knew I wasn't a regular person, whatever the hell that means. I knew that I was here to help with the planet, with the star energy. I knew that nothing ever felt normal to me. It's not even about the religion. I've moved through a lot of that over the past 2 years since I had a spiritual awakening in the end of 2021, where I left the ministry that I built from the ground up. And before that, I worked with my parents in ministry. And then before that, I was always heavily involved with church and giving my whole entire freaking life to God. I used to, this was my fun Friday night, is I would sit with my father's like huge ass Strong's Concordance and look up the Greek in the I would look up the Greek and the Hebrew Strong's Concordance numbers so that I could understand, what does agape really mean? Right? I gave my life to search for the answers in an archaic book that I already had within me, 1010, when I was a child in my innocence. I understood something about the stars. When I was like 4 or 5 years old, I remember my parents were driving to my grandma's house, and I looked out the window and I had this open vision, and I saw a huge book opening up and light was shooting out of it. And the book looked like the size of the horizon line. It was as big as the sky. And the light was pouring out. And it was like I was just enraptured by it. And years later, I now believe that I was being shown the Akashic records. I have seen some stuff. And I've been through a lot to qualify me to speak on things that these assholes, they just parrot this information at people to the point where they want to end their freaking lives. I'm one of thousands. There are so many videos of people talking about this. People in all sorts of situations that were made to feel like they were less than dirt, that they were subhuman. Okay, this is my point. Back to the star. I could go off on that stuff for a long time, but that's a personal anecdote for me on what I'm trying to talk about today with the universe reaching out and saying, wait, Missy, don't go. Please, complete the mission. Because there have been, and I'm sure this applies to you as well in whatever you're doing. It doesn't have to be this hyper-spiritual starsy, blah, blah. All those terms are made up anyway, guys, right? We know that, right? We're just using them. I came from the Christian church where we have terms over there. We have terms over here in the New Age world, right? We have terms in the business world. We have terms. Can we all just freaking agree that we're all talking about the same shit? Well, not always. Whatever. I'm done with terms. I only use terms so that I can relate to people. So that they know what I'm saying, right? But do I really think it's like star seed and all that? I don't really know. I didn't even know the word star seed until a few years ago. I use it just like I would use it if I was going to another country and speaking their language. So I respect the groups that I'm in and use the words that need to be used to communicate similar points, right? I already had an understanding at a young age, and I'm sure a lot of you did as well, of what we just naturally knew. And religion, society, parents, all of this, teachers, bosses, peers even, have put these ideas on top of us and snuffed out our stars. It's like we had these stars in our eyes, and all of these things made us feel, and a lot of us were outcast for this stuff. You know, a lot of us have gone through the lowest of the low, the darkest of the dark, alone. With no one to turn to, except for the stars, the celestial, our angels, ancestors, guides. I used to term it the Holy Spirit. I used to pray to the Holy Spirit, pray in the Holy Spirit, pray in tongues. People call it light language where we're from, right? For hours and hours a day. I still do that. That's how I get all my information, is from those times, right? But at the same time, it's like the universe, I've had moments where I've been like, you know what, bro? Throw it in the towel. Sorry if that was loud in your ears. I was trying to I don't have a towel, so I'm using my phone case. There have been times where, do you know how many times I've wanted to throw in the freaking towel? The universe is saying, wait, please don't go. You know what I'm saying? It's like we're on the precipice. That's this Two of Wands. We're on the precipice of like the world's finally being ready for us, or not, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't really matter if they're ready or not, here we come, because a lot of us have things to say, and this is our destiny. The collective I'm speaking to, we are here to be a light in this world. We're here to stand as a lighthouse and shine that light into the darkness. That's what stars are. We are stars. We are stars. And for some of us, that will manifest literally as like being a star, like famous. For others of us, it's more on an etheric plane. And in a way, it's like, I don't care if you're freaking Beyonce or you are like the person in town that when you go into Dunkin' Donuts, like it brightens somebody's life. Like your energy, just you walking in your freaking sweatpants, it like heals people, right? And you don't know, you might have been like a sultan, is that? You might have been like some sort of authority in a past life. In this life, you chose to be more humble. You might feel like you have all this power inside of you and you're just like, oh, I'm just a local like Dunkin' Donuts sort of a guy, sort of a person, right? This is the thing. The universe is saying, all the things that have been building up inside of you for all of these years. And for some of us, we're going to become more conscious to the things that we've actually known within us, but haven't had the words to describe. It's a movement happening on the planet right now because of the energies. It's like the vibration of the planet is rising. I mean, literally the Schumann resonance has changed if you want to get like literal with it. But more spiritually speaking, it's like the vibration, the snake here, it's raising and it's causing our awareness to be brighter, to be clearer. It's like all of a sudden we're going to be like, oh my God, this leaf, so many layers, so intricate, so detailed. You know, metaphorically speaking, it's like looking into the stars, looking into the universe. How big is the universe? I'm not going to go into that. But in what else is out there? You know what I'm saying? I could go into that for a whole spiel. But it's like, how big is the universe? Let's just leave it at that. We have always known we were other. We've always known it. And it's only society that came in and compared it to believing in Santa Claus, right? I might not be a part of the Christian religion anymore because I've been unbound from the devil. But you know what I still believe in? A lot of things. A lot of the things that I naturally came to on my own accord, from my own prayer times, from my own communion with God. All the times I went out in nature, 1818, by myself, just communing with nature, receiving, you know, these prophetic words from the Lord is what I used to call them. Now I call them downloads. I have makeup on my shirt. It's going to annoy me later in when I'm uploading this. You know, it's like that was just the natural. It's like once I understood that there was a lot of like archaic, controlling, religious lies, basically dogma that, you know, 300 years ago was a totally different thing. It's like, oh, this is ancient. Christianity is ancient. No, it's not. The Christianity we have today, back in the 80s, it was changed. I have lots of proof for that, but I'm not going to speak on it right now. I could write a whole essay on that. My point is, what our generation looks at as Christianity is a farce. Okay? I'm not saying there's not a lot of truth in it. In the elements of it, when you break it down to its smallest parts and you understand what the original intention was, like when the Star of David was shining and it was guiding people to the Christ that came to this planet, right? Regardless. Okay. I'm pulling out from that, guys, all right? I'm pulling out. All right. You know, when I start making those jokes, I'm getting stressed. Because the religious PTSD is bubbling up. It's bubbling up to the surface. It's it's like the bat signal. It's like we're being pinged. It's like, oh, it's like we've been waiting all these years for our moment or something. Like it's like we've been receiving all of this. This to me looks like God always when I look at this card. It's like God has been feeding us this truth, this information, this wisdom, this understanding. And it's like, once I took off those chains of a made up, religion used to control people and to gain offerings, it's like I realized the stuff that was actually true along the way that I just came to naturally. We come to the truth naturally. We understand the truth naturally because we are the truth. We are one with God, with the divine, with all these stars that have come before us, the akashic records, like I talked about. We are one with people who were here before, and we are one with the people who are yet to come, because we are those people. It gets complicated. It's our time to shine. I said something about mice in the walls. Yeah, there's gonna be mice in the walls. It's like mice are a nuisance. It's like they're gonna come in and they're gonna try to convince you that everything that I said is not true and that you're not special and that you don't have a purpose and that you might as well just shut up and go die somewhere, because that's what they've liked me to think. Right? All they are vermin. They're mice in the walls. And they are just trying to keep you bound to these ancient contracts, not to get too deep into it, but these ancient contracts that you have the full right to disconnect from. That's on a karmic level, right? Because why is this stuff so strong? It's because it's from the past, right? I'm not going to pretend I understand it all. All I know is my left ear's ringing. All I know is I've seen a thing or two in this position. With the Page of Swords. And there's something right now about they're like pinging us. They're like, hey, remember what we started off with? Like way back when? Yeah. It's time to let that shine. Like the stars in the sky, because your voice, your words, the sound of your voice, not even the words, but the sound within the voice are like light codes opening up. I listened to a video, and I don't remember which sign it was for, but I love San Tarot. I watch all her readings. I'm a big fan of you, San. I love you, San. But she had this message multiple times about this fractaling out. And that's like what this is. It's like, it's almost like we've been holding on to this like scroll, if you will, the message of who we are and who we're meant to be. This almost looks like a blueprint or a schematic, or I mean, it's like a compass. It's like opening up right now because the vibration of the planet's raising, and it's like we're coming to awareness, and it's gonna cause us to go in directions that we've never gone before. And yeah, that's gonna take some faith and some confidence in order to do that on a very 3D level, right? But this is the thing. The Fool is all of us.